Venezuela has erupted into chaos. The food riots have occurred alongside the disturbing footage of bare store shelves. There will be no positivity from this scenario. Will there be a coup d'etat? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we will talk about Venezuela, the civil unrest and riots that are occurring at this time. Let's begin with this right here. You're seeing countless wounded after 5,000 loot a supermarket. Look at the amount of people that are essentially waiting for basic essentials. We officially declaring May as the month that widespread hunger began in Venezuela. And you see when the inflation rate gets so bad, and that could be for any reason. It could be for a natural event. It could be because the central bank is printing too much currency. It doesn't matter. The effects on the individual will be the same, and that is exactly what you see in this image. People are literally dying because of this. And this is a translation right here from a Spanish website, and it's probably not very accurate, but essentially what we see is people desperate and they looted a store. And this has happened countless times throughout history, different regions around the world, but you're looking at the exact same scenario. People will act crazy. People will overreact. People will destroy and damage the things that they use every day. Perhaps they went to the supermarket every day or every week, and next thing you know, they're fighting for their lives in there. They are throwing things on the floor, making a mess, and you can see how disgusting this really looks. Now, this goes to show you how bad things will become, not just in Venezuela, but how bad things will come in major cities around the world. Look at this here. This is an impressive shot. As you can see, the people at the far end, and then you have all the different security forces and what looks like police at the bottom there. And the people will be fighting against the police forces. This is what will happen. And we don't have to guess. We don't have to assume that it won't happen, because we know what they've been training for. We know exactly what the intended plan is. We could see other countries, whether it's Venezuela, whether it's happened in so many places of hyperinflation, you know what happens. You know when the food becomes too expensive, the people start to riot. And that's a fact. Right here, you're looking at the U.S. increasingly concerned about the potential for an economic and political meltdown in Venezuela, spurred by fears of a debt default, growing street protests, and deterioration of its oil sector. And I believe that, this is all very important information. Now, why it's all happening, that's a different story, but it's important to know what basic events are occurring in any particular country at any given time, so we can sort of track the progress, see where it all goes. But you can see here that, at least for this, U.S. intelligence officials, they are seeing these things. At the very bottom, there is a meeting, let's say, they were referred to here. Maduro's own party or powerful political figures would force him out and would not rule out the possibility of a military coup. That's this plausible scenario that they are discussing. They want to stage a coup in order to get Maduro out of his position. Will they be successful in doing this? Well, we will see. I don't think he's going to step down anytime soon, that's for sure. Let's look at this here. Last one. As you can see, the U.S. seeing the growing risk of the coup in Venezuela. Look at these individuals panicking. They are not doing this because, this is mild or even average levels of desperation. This is the kind of behavior when people are at the very end of what they are willing to tolerate. And you look at the ex-Argentine president actually indicted on financial charges. And this is impressive to say the least, when a leader of a nation is able to be kicked out and able to be impeached, whatever it might be, depending on, if you're looking at Brazil or anything else. But what we see is that different countries deal with their politicians in different ways. Look at the criminality, just as a very obvious example, as we see with Obama. And people just love it. People just love to be abused, and that's what it all comes down to. But in certain countries like Brazil, like Argentina, and actually what you see with what happened with Australia, where their prime minister, they didn't want her to stay in after she promised not to put in carbon taxes, and the very first thing that was instated was the carbon taxes. So, some countries will boot their leaders out if necessary, and other countries, like in Canada, like in the US, and let's say the UK as well, you're stuck with whoever they put in place, because of course you don't actually choose. That's all false. Look at this here, just to switch gears for a moment. Hidden microphones. And remember that we're on San Francisco CBS Local's website here. Hidden microphones that are part of a clandestine government surveillance program that has been operating around the Bay Area has been exposed. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is actual, true information. And we're not even talking about the NSA levels. We're talking about local police, or I believe, federal agents in this case. Imagine standing at a bus stop talking to your friend, and you're having a conversation, and you are being recorded, and it happens all the time. Federal agents are planting microphones to secretly record conversations. And this right here, Jeff Harp, he is a former FBI special agent. They're putting microphones under rocks. They're putting them in trees. They're putting them in equipment. There's microphones that are everywhere, essentially, he says. Why are they doing this? Well, they're trying to collect data on us. They're trying to get the bad guys, of course. However, they are non-discriminately recording innocent people and their conversations. This is no different than what's happening with the NSA, except this is very in your face. And I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but if I personally saw a microphone that was recording me, it wouldn't be recording for very much longer. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. I'm here. It's probably, let me see, check the time, 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday. Now it's Sunday, I guess, but trying to research this information, trying to bring you the videos. I hope you do appreciate that. I see all your comments. I read them. I try to reply to as many as I possibly can. If you need to get in touch with me for sure, though, best way to do that is email. If you email me, it does take a few weeks sometimes, but I will get back to you. I notice other people are messaging me on Facebook and possibly in other places, and I just cannot possibly get back to all the messages that are there. I get back to all the emails, and I get back to as many of the YouTube comments as I possibly can. So perhaps I'll do an entire video just on replying to people through the Facebook and other places on the YouTube messaging system. I don't often check that either. I just use my phone to reply to people through the comments and things, so it's very difficult to get to the messages. I really don't. So, but I do appreciate all of the comments, all the emails that I do get. The donations are coming in, and truthfully and honestly, I really do appreciate that very, very much. So thank you, all of you. Venezuela has erupted into chaos. The food riots have occurred alongside the disturbing. Came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we will talk about Venezuela, the civil unrest and riots that are occurring at this time. Let's begin with this footage of bare store shelves. There will be no positivity from this scenario. Will there be a coup d'etat? You can. Right here, you're seeing countless wounded after 5,000 loot a supermarket. Look at the amount of people that are